years. Well, hello there, everyone. Like I said, we're doing something a little different tonight. You see, recently there has been a ton of Dark Souls players who have been playing Armored Core for the very first time. After all, Armored Core 6 just got announced recently, and as we all know, they're going to be showing off gameplay of it at the end of this week. So I thought, why not meet them from the other side? After all, I've seen Dark Souls. I've seen people play Dark Souls. I'm vaguely familiar with Dark Souls. I've played games that are like Dark Souls, but I've never actually played Dark Souls. So what better time than now to change that? After all, I have no reason to be salty anymore. I have no reason to talk shit. A new Armored Core is happening, and there will probably be at least one more after that, considering the stranglehold FromSoft has on the gaming industry at this point. Like, in terms of... I say stranglehold. What I really mean is... people see what FromSoft does, and that has a huge impact on what they do. That has a huge impact on what other studios do. So, let's give this a go, huh? Like I said, I'm not going into this completely blind. I have a vague conception of how Dark Souls works. I have seen people play Dark Souls. I've played games that are like Dark Souls. What's the worst that could happen, huh? What? How bad could this be? I mean, just to make things extra spicy, I'm not just playing Dark Souls. I am playing the original PS3 version of Dark Souls as it was originally launched. Now, I'm not playing it on original hardware. I have a PS3, but it's on the other side of the room, and I don't want to drag it over here. I mean, that happens in Armored Core, Dusk. That happens in a lot of games. You die, you get back up. You die again, you get back up again. You die, you get back up. That's how these games work. I mean, I'm probably going to be surprised. I mean, no, really, you know what I could have really done to really be a little fucker Mechanica? And I was considering doing it. Hell, after this, I might even go and do it. Is I might, shall we say, obtain Demon Souls and see what that's like. After all, Demon Souls is where this all began. This is where everything started. It started with Demon Souls, and then they made Dark Souls. But hey, Dark Souls is the one that everyone knows. Dark Souls is the one everyone remembers. Even though, yes, there was a Demon Souls remake on PS4, or was it PS4 or PS5? I don't remember. One of the later consoles. There was a remake of Demon Souls for that. There's never been a PC release of Demon Souls. Whatever. I'm not even playing the PC version of Dark Souls, so why does that matter to me? Hell. But to be fair, I say all of that, but and hello there, Mechanicat. Hey there, Mechanicat. But I say all this. This just might get me to get Dark Souls on PC, depending on how I feel after this. Because this is probably going to be janky as fuck, being the PS3 version, and the PC version, despite some controversial discussion surrounding it. Like, people like it, some people hate it, blah, blah, blah. It goes back and forth. I might have to see for myself just what people think of Dark Souls. Of the Dark Souls remaster or Prepare to Die or whatever version of it. Oh my god. Mechanicat. Don't test me. I'll go and get Kingsfield if you keep this funny act up. I'll do it. Hell, I might even go back even further, because if you think about it, there's a game going back that you could even say inspired Kingsfield. If you follow Professor Bloom, you know which one I'm talking about. I'm talking about Hydlide. I forget which particular entry in the Hydlide series it was, but there's an entry in the Hydlide series that Bloom and I believe Bloom and at least one other person have said could arguably be considered the game that that Kingsfield was based off of. So don't test me. Because if you do, I'll go back. I will go back. But it gave us so much of the foundation of FromSoft games, Mechanicat. Think about it. So first of all, you had Kingsfield, which gave us the Moonlight. It gave us the general gameplay concept of FromSoft in general, which is FromSoft games in general, which is a philosophy of rewarding persistence, of you're going to fail the first few times. It's going to happen. You're not going to succeed the first time you try this, but what you do is you get back up and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again and again and again until you finally succeed. There is an argument to be made that all of that might have even started with Kingsfield. I don't know. I haven't played Kingsfield. I know it's already an established concept in the original Armored Core, though. Hell, yeah, like by the time the original Armored Core came out, that was already an established concept. They already had this idea of rewarding persistence through, whether, through the Human Plus system in Armored Core, whether it's through the Soul Recovery system in Dark Souls. I don't know if there's anything comparable in Kingsfield. Hell, I mean, that might not be a concept in Kingsfield. I mean, you could make that argument, Mechanic Cat. But that doesn't really hold up. But what I'm talking about is how their later games worked. Because I have not played Kingsfield. I don't know what Kingsfield is like. I just know that by the time that they released the original Armored Core, the concept of letting the player fail their way to success and making the game progressively more forgiving to reward their persistence had already been established. I don't know when that happened. It might not be a thing in Kingsfield because I don't know how bad Kingsfield is. I've never played Kingsfield. I've never played any of the Kingsfield series. The Kingsfield series might be a complete disaster for all I know. But by the time the original Armored Core was released, that was an established concept. That was an established idea that you could see was not the first time they had done it. But anyways... Oh, hey there! Damn it, Barag. Oh, boy, is Twitch being a bitch? It does that sometimes, doesn't it? It does that sometimes, doesn't it? It's just like, no, I'm not going to let you do any of these things. Oh, you're one of those people, Mechanic Cat. God damn it. Dark Souls 2 is the only good FromSoft game. No. But here's what I'm going to say about Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is not a bad concept. Dark Souls 2 is fundamentally a good concept, but you can tell when they were working on Dark Souls 2, they did not have the resources or time to make Dark Souls 2 the game they wanted it to be. And you can see that because they revisited the concept of Dark Souls 2 in Elden Ring. Elden Ring is basically a polished version of Dark Souls 2. And, I mean, you could argue that Elden Ring is not the most polished game as well. But conceptually, in its core mechanics, that is what Elden Ring is. That is... I mean, this is something I've talked to people about. This is something that I've talked to people who are familiar with Dark Souls. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, because you're right, I don't know dick about Dark Souls. But I have talked to people who are familiar with Dark Souls. And that is the general consensus I've gotten from them regarding Elden Ring and its relationship to Dark Souls 2. Damn, how does Arthur do this for so long? How does he just sit here? I mean, basically, yeah, like I said, that's what I mean. That's what I said, like, that's the consensus I've gotten about Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring. How does Arthur do this for so long? How does he have this whole period of like an hour or an hour and a half before he actually plays the damn game? Actually. I do actually have something I want to talk about. So there is this building. Actually. And I found out about this building recently. I had only just found out about this building. But a lot of people here might recognize this building. I'm just going to put it that way. A lot of people here might recognize this building. If you do recognize this building, you're probably going to be snickering when I post it, because this building has a bit of a history. What are we looking for? This one. Yes, this one. A lot of people probably... I don't know how many people here recognize this building, but if you do, you're probably snickering right now. Because this building is associated with a certain thing. I only found out about this building a couple of months ago. I didn't even know this building existed or any of its history. But apparently, so this is the San Francisco Armory. For those who don't know, for those who have not learned about this the way I did. This is the San Francisco Armory. And the San Francisco Armory is famous because for a long time, notice I'm not saying that they don't own it now. For a long time, the San Francisco Armory was owned by a company that produced BDSM pornography. that's how most people know about this building, if they know about it, is they know its association with BDSM porn. Now, they don't own this building anymore. They have not owned this building since 2018. I actually looked into this because I was curious. And it's like, apparently, so this building, they owned this building from about 2004 to 2017. After that, they then sold it to a real estate company who has then sold it on further, and now it's basically a factory that can be leased out to little manufacturing companies, little job shops, the people who do like little machining jobs for custom orders, that kind of stuff. Little small manufacturers, basically. So that's what this building is now used for. Still though, that association, the fact that for a decent amount of time, this building was associated with BDSM pornography is still just hilarious to me. The fact that that actually happened, the fact that there was actually this association. Also, before this, I know I'm like pivoting to something else immediately. Before, so much history was lost. Oh no, Mechanicat. Something tells me you know more than you're letting on. I won't probe too far, but I feel like you know more than you're letting on. Also, before stream started, I almost missed starting on time because I've been getting really hooked into Kerbal Space Program again. I've been doing a lot of little test launches and development and such of different rocket types, different launch vehicles. By the way, something I've discovered makes a really, really good basic payload. If you're in KSP, if you're just starting out, you don't know what you're doing, and you don't want to kill Jeb, here is a really good basic payload, especially if, as you should be, you're playing on science mode, because career mode is bullshit with all the like funding and all the layers, all those things. It's not a bad, it's not a bad idea, but it sucks. It really sucks. It's way too grindy. It's way too much of a mess. You have to juggle funding and all of that. The best way to play Kerbal Space Program is in science mode. I'm just going to say that right now, because it still gives you progression and tasks you have to work towards, but because you don't have to worry about a lot of other little things, you can approach it basically from any angle you want. But anyways, here is a pretty good basic payload to send up. Once you get it's called the Probodobodyne Octo, which basically this octagonal unmanned probe body. Put a pair of Science Juniors, one on either end of it, on there. Like stack it so you've got the probe. Let me actually get an idea of what I'm talking about here, because there's actually, let me just pull up, I'm going to pull up something actually. I'm going to pull up MS Paint to give y'all an idea of what I'm talking about here. So we go here, we go Paint, move that up. Now let me show you what I'm talking about with this sort of payload body, because this payload body actually works out pretty well. So first things first, I'm just going to use some basic shapes. This isn't details, but I'll label everything for your convenience. After all, it makes more sense if I do. First things first, set this to black just so that it's easier to work with. Fill, solid color. So this is the probe body. Think of this as the probe body. Move this over. Oh, yeah, no. I forgot that does that. Now we move this over. Okay, move that over. So that's your probe body. And then you have a pair of Science Juniors. One here, like that. And one here, like that. They're probably not going to be the same size because I'm not an artist, damn. So those are your two Science Juniors. That gives you the ability to just farm up some science from this pretty quickly. So that's your first thing. Then you're going to put a pair of battery banks on it. one on either end. These are basically just so the thing has power. This is so the thing has power. And you cover each of the Science Juniors in solar panels. So basically, kind of like... Basically, let's just fill it in with blue to represent the solar panels, because I don't feel like drawing all that many rectangles. So you cover the Science Juniors in solar panels to avoid any sort of conflict, to basically keep the thing having power. And depending on how much research you have, the other thing you can do from there is put either some antennas like so that they are like that. Or what you can also do is make like use the high gain antennas, which are basically these guys right here. This is what I like to do. You put like 4 of them on each side of each of the Science Junior stacks. And that means it can transmit. This is a really, really handy little setup. So you have 4 of these on each side. It can transmit, and on top of being a good little way of farming science, because they have the antenna arrays on them, they then serve as relay stations for further projects that you've developed to... That's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, further launches that you can then use as... Like this basically lets you keep communications with your later with your later payloads. It's actually really handy like that. But where I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna play Dark Souls. That's where I was. I was like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we're gonna play Dark Souls. I've been talking about. I kind of see how Arthur does it. He just rambles. That actually doesn't feel too bad. I kind of like that. I need to do that more. But that's just an example of a pretty good basic unmanned payload you can launch in KSP. But that's not relevant to Dark Souls. So now we're going to play Dark Souls, because I came here to play Dark Souls for the very first time ever, and I have spent all of this time, which is probably, 20 minutes now, not playing Dark Souls. So let's play some Dark Souls, huh? How's that sound to you? Ooh, just brightness until flame is visible and dragon invisible. Okay, let me see. I want to turn it all the way up because I want to see what that looks like. I kind of like that. Okay. Apply. Keep these the same for now. If I need to, I'll go and adjust them. Initialize. Is that supposed to be like reset? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Gonna go get dinner. Shout if you need help from a Souls veteran. Also, remember, I'll return the favor if you ever play Armored Core, Varag. I'll return the favor if you ever play Armored Core. Enter name. Enter character name. Yes, it's what I came here to do, isn't it? It's what I came here to do. There we go. Like so. Yeah, whatever. Don't care enough. Class. Now, here's where things get interesting, because again, no idea what Dark Souls is like. No idea what any of these mean. Actually, no. I do know something. I do know one thing, and that is there is a dumb build. There's a dumb and somewhat famous build in Dark Souls where you start with this particular class. So I do know that build requires a couple of things that we're not going to have for a while. Like, I know it's a New Game Plus build and such, but we're going to start with that for, yes, Varag, that exact build. That build. Gift, binoculars, pendant. I think, is that it? Is that the one we want for that? Because I do want to go for that, because of course, why not? It'll be funny. Physique per. Tiny head. Very large. Serious presence, large. Whatever, average, that works. Face, we'll probably leave these alone. We're gonna not really do much. After all, like you said, we're not gonna see much of this face for too long. So let's just pick one. I'm just gonna shuffle through and pick one. See which one we get. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that works. I'll do the same thing for this one. But you do need to know what you're doing. That's why y'all are here, Mechanicat. Y'all are here because I have no idea what I'm doing. I know that you need a certain... Okay, so I do know a lot of the build. I do know a fair decent amount of the build. First thing is obviously SL99. It's certain stats that I can go and look up. I can actually like pull up the actual stat level because I remember the actual stat allocation. Let me just do that real quickly because I am kind of curious. What the actual build for this is. The specific build is, well, only Afro has it. So let's go pull that up because I don't really care about a lot of the other stuff. I want to know what the actual I want to see what this was. Yes, it's Giant's Armor, Father Mask, Grass Crest Shield, Zweihander. And then the stats, I forget what the exact stats are because the stats are also kind of like important for the meme as well. It's like soul level 99. What was it? 48 vitality. Okay. We'll have that around for fuckery. Chaos Fire Zweihander, Giant Armor Set, Father Mask, Grass Crest Shield, 50 vitality. Yeah, that's the build, Mechanicat. And then also for the same thing for hair, because again, after a while, we're no longer going to see it. Let's do this. Let's just shuffle and see what we get. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It looks kind of ugly, but sure, fine. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gold hair. Whatever. We're never going to see it. So like you said, we're either never going to see it or... What do you mean I can't? Just... why can't I? Why can't I? Huh? There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Oh! Did I have it set, though. I have it set. Oh, there. Now it's letting me accept. Okay. Yes, start game with this character. Let's see what I've been missing for 9 years.
Ancients, the world was
unformed.
Shrouded by fog.
Okay, I like this voice already.
Crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons.
Sorry about the noise. I did not realize that plastic bag was going to be quite so loud.
But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold. Life and death. And of course, light and dark.
Well, Mechanica, depending on how this goes,
Then from the dark,
I might change my mind. I might go from the PS3 to the PC version. So don't get too upset yet. Things might end up changing.
Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of chaos.
Yeah, that's real fucking neato.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons.
Oh boy. Yeah, no. Bring out the... Yeah. Oh my god, my man here is Zeus. Look at that shit. It's like Zeus, but with fire.
Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma.
Oh shit, it's Nurgle.
All will rot! And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own.
Okay, but why though?
Dragons were no more.
Okay, but why though, bro? Did they do something to you? Are you scaleless because they peeled them all off of you, or what? Were they just assholes?
Thus began.
I wonder, why did he betray them? Is it ever explained?
Fire.
If it is, don't tell me, because I'm probably gonna figure it out at some point.
Soon the
But if it's not,
flames
just
will
let me know
fade,
it's not explained.
and only dark will remain.
Oh, so the same reason anyone does anything, Mechanic Cat. Fair enough, I guess.
There are only
And that's fair enough. You do. It's the reason anyone does anything.
sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the
The
accursed,
accursed dark side. Dark side. I get that that's supposed to be like an actual ominous thing, but like, there's something that's just kind of funny about darks. That I just realized what the aesthetic of Dark Souls is. I mean, it's obviously not just that, but the aesthetic of Dark Souls, immediately to me, my first thought is, game? Game, what are you doing? Game? I might have to.
Indeed.
Okay, I might have to get the
dark
the
side
PC version of that.
undead.
Oh, now it's working. Okay, that was strange.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. What was it? Oh yeah. I was saying that
Where they
a lot
are
of Dark
locked
Souls
away
aesthetic to me, like
await
the way I think of it is,
of the world.
it's the side. It's the airbrushed van that has a wizard on it. Have y'all ever seen those? Where you've got like the van and then there's all like the art airbrushed on the side of like a wizard holding an orb in one hand and a staff in the other as lightning cascades out with like unicorns and dragons and shit. It's that, but after the van's had a bit of a rough day. A rough few years, really. Like, take that van, sit it in the junkyard for 20 years, and then that's Dark Souls. Oh, hey. Thanks, I guess. I don't know what the hell that is you just dropped in here, but I'll take it. Also, who are you anyways? Oscar. Oh, so he's a grouch. Wonderful. Pillaged corpse. Dungeon cell key? Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, I'm thinking, oh man, yeah, no, I might have to just get the PC version. Read message. Okay. Right stick. This one's probably gonna tell me, yep. Yeah, that tells me my attacks. That's another thing. That's a heavy attack. R2 strong attack. Kind of figure that. That's those. How do I dodge? There we go. That's how I dodge. Okay. Grab those, grab those. Obviously, this is not what I thought it was. Okay, I see how this works now. R1 is right hand. R1 is right hand. L1 is left hand. Okay, I see how this works now. That is our movement there. Ah, okay. Whoa. Okay, good. We didn't die from that. That would have been awkward. Who are you? Die. I don't know who you are, but die. Thank you for that, Kogasa. Oh, ooh. That was a good one, actually. That was a real crack right there is what that was. Damn. Let me tell. Take a drink. I've got to say, you know what's become my favorite? I recently tried That one flavor of Gatorade everyone's been talking about forever. The light green one. You know the one, right? The cucumber lime. Oh my god. Kogasa, please. Why can you... I mean, I'd ask why you can't sleep, but my sleep schedule isn't exactly great either. I mean, I slept for, what? 13 hours last night, which is not good. So, I'm not exactly in the best position to, like, judge you. Oh, God. Yeah, maybe I should get the PC version of this. This is really like actual dog shit. What are you? Light bonfire. We'll look at that in a second. I want to see what this is first. Okay, that's all that is. It's just your usual tutorial shit about what bonfires do and... Ooh, yeah, this is running very badly. Oh, man. I may actually end up... If I keep playing Dark Souls, I might actually end up just getting the... Whoa! Yeah, that's running quite badly. Yeah, you can see the pixels. And more importantly than that, Dusk... Yeah, like Kogasa said, you can see the frames. Also, here's where we die. Hello. Hello, Asylum Demon. Whoa, you're going to kill me. I know you're going to kill me, but I'm going to try and hurt you as much as I can before that happens. Ah! Yep. Yes, well, Asylum Demon isn't really lagging. It's my frame rate is dying. Ooh, wow. Yep. Yep, this is not a pleasant experience right now. I may actually need to figure out... may actually want to get the PC version at some point. So that probably, if we need to, like, I'm probably just going to switch over to the PC version after this because, wow, this is running terrible. Ooh, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah. Well, the problem is, Kogasa, it is the guard. It is the guard. So, whether its butt cheeks alert the guard or not is irrelevant. Ring of the Evil Eye. I was reading that, damn it. Northern Undead Asylum. So we died once. And let's see what happens next. We start back where we last been. We start back here. We lit the bonfire, but we didn't rest at the bonfire. So, yeah, we kind of got fucked with that one. Oh, well. It's very alert all the time. Although at that point, I think constantly being alert like that, wouldn't that just get distracting? Like, wouldn't it be, like, super confused by all the things that are just randomly alerting it, Kogasa? Because that seems like something that would happen there, if that was the case. So, let's rest at the bonfire, so that it, you know, does bonfire things. Leave. Also, no need to fight, run. Fair enough. Open. And the Asylum Demon is probably going to be back there. Oh, well. Let's just run from it. Let's, like, run for it this time. This is probably where we died. Yep, that's where we died. Okay. Bye. I'm leaving. Goodbye. You locked. Oh, boy. Means we have to find another exit. Oh, this way. Go! Woo! Okay, we managed to get away from that. Wow, it runs better when we get away from the Asylum Demon, that's for sure. Okay. Rest at this bonfire. Now it's actually running decently. Go through here. Get your shield. Thanks, I guess. Where's the damn shield then? You said get my shield. Where's the damn shield? This lighting is really fucking with me. Nothing here. It's probably in this other room. Okay. Yeah, this is probably where it is. Spider shield. Spider shield. Spider shield. Da 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 da. Can I please equip it now? Yes, I can. Good. Black firebomb. Dark sign. Black separation crystal. No, no, no. Spider shield. Use item. How do I equip it though? That's what I want to know. It's like, how do I equip my damn shield? That's what I want to know. Change equipment. There we go. Okay. Left hand, spider shield. Got it now. Figured it out. We're good to go. Now we can just move forwards. Wow, it's actually kind of running okay now. Maybe it just needed to figure out and get its head. I say that. No, it's going to die again. I know it's going to die again. Because this is not a great way of playing this game. But hey, figured I'd try it before I buy it. Well, there goes that guy. Good, and that's fog. It just seems to die whenever an enemy shows up. I've noticed that. Traverse the white light. Let's see what's waiting for us on the other side of the white light then. Nothing there. Oh. Game, please. Yeah, no. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to get the PC version of this at some point. Let's see how much that is. How much even is the PC version of Dark Souls? I want the original one. Dark Souls Remastered is $40. Can I get the original version of Dark Souls anywhere for PC? Probably not. But if you can, that would be nice. No, you cannot. I kind of figured that's the case. So, Varag, I gotta ask you, since you're somebody who knows a lot about Dark Souls, I want to know now, how much of a difference does Prepare to Die make versus Remastered? Or like, how much of a difference does Remastered make from the original version of Dark Souls? Because this ain't running. This game is not working. So I'm just gonna get it on PC, I guess, at some point. And play it like that, because this don't work. Or I might look into what it takes to make it work. Actually, let's do that real quickly here. Are there any settings that would make this work better? Probably not, because... Okay, I've got that set on there. That's all there really is to it. It just runs badly. Okay. That's fine. If it runs badly, that's fine. Yeah, this ain't running. This ain't running. So, what should we do then? What should we do? This ain't gonna run. I could do that. I could try that. Combat's all the same. I'm guessing builds are all the same as well. And it probably runs better. Frames are better, servers work, mechanics, items, mobs, everything is the same. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna, not today, but I'm gonna get the remastered version of Dark Souls. That way I can actually play the damn game and go from there. Also, that means that, like you said, the servers work. So if y'all want to play with me, or y'all want to raid me, or y'all want to invade me, that's something y'all can do. This ain't working. So I'm gonna figure out something else to do. What can we do? I could show y'all what I was talking about earlier with KSP. Actually, that might be an idea. So we're gonna. Nah, I don't think so, Dusk. But I do know what we're gonna do. I do know what we are going to do. And that is, first of all, we're gonna change the stream information. That doesn't need to be changed. And I'm going to show y'all what I've actually been working on in KSP. So there goes that. There goes that. There goes that. There goes this. Do this, do that, do this, go here, quote retweet that, go here, close that, because that is not working. Such a shame too, because I can actually see why this game made such a great first impression on people. That is definitely a very, very distinctive opening. It's a great way to open. That is a great way to open the game and introduce and let people know what to expect. That's already got me convinced. Yeah, no, Dark Souls, from what I saw there and what I've seen of people playing it, yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing Dark Souls. I'm definitely going to play through it. Whilst I'm waiting for Armored Core 6 to finally come out. After all, like I said, a bunch of Dark Souls fans are playing Armored Core for the first time. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, let's meet them from the other side, huh? So, like I said, I'm going now, because Dark Souls was not working, we're switching over to something different. We're switching over to... Not you. And I want that one. There we go. That's good. I turn that on because I don't need to worry about it anymore. And I'm going to put on some background music while we work on stuff because KSP is one of those games where stuff just doesn't happen for long periods of time, and it kind of helps to just break up the silence. So we're going to start with... Actually, I know which album we're going to start with because I've been listening too much to the other one from them. We're going to start with some Starset because I love Starset for KSP for some reason. It's just a good combination of background music and gameplay, I've discovered. So first thing... Okay, good. Now KSP is loaded in. Game capture. There we go. That to be like that. Perfect. There we go. Now KSP is ready to go. Start game. Resume. Load. Yes. So the last thing I did since I've been playing KSP is I landed... Well, I say landed. It was more of a crash. But I put an unmanned probe on the Mun. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll also know that I've also been... Recover that, because why the hell not? If you follow me, like anything else I've been doing, like posting on Twitter, you know that I've sent a manned mission to Minmus as well. Well, at some point, we're going to have to send a mission of some type to Duna. And part of the setup for that is that I've been putting a bunch of relay satellites in orbit. Let me just run you through all of them. This one was just an early proof of concept satellite. There's nothing really special about it, but let me show you this. This was one of my early experiments in satellite development that didn't really lead anywhere, but hey, it was, like I said, it's proof of concept, and it got me through some of the early stages where I didn't have much science to work with. And hey, like I said, it got me an idea of what's going on. This doesn't really have anything on it, though, so all of the science that's on it is unrecoverable and worthless, even if I could transmit it. That's that. That's these. Nothing really to this, though. Oh, there is an antenna in here. Okay, I almost forgot if there was an antenna in here or not. There is. So I was able to transmit this science, at least. That's not too bad, then. So that's, fittingly, Satellite by Starset. Haha. I were looking at satellites, and now we have Satellite by Starset playing. But anyways, like I said, for anybody who's who came here expecting to see Dark Souls, yeah, it was not working. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna get the PC version of Dark Souls rather than try and be cheeky with the. But hey, the PS3 version of Dark Souls did give me an idea of what to expect for when I finally do. Satellite, eye on me tonight. I will be your gravity. So let's start where we were. Okay. So let's go look at that moon hardlander because I do want to show you that. This did not land the way it was intended to, but at the end of the day, a landing you walk away from is a good landing. That would be this guy right here. It's also done the thing I needed it to do. That being, it got science and transmitted it. You can't really see it because it's on the dark side of the moon. Originally, it had a little landing engine and some landing legs, but those kind of died because I landed it too hard. But, yeah, no, it worked. So what more really can I ask of it? It was a functional moon probe. I could probably fly it better if I had some lights on the bottom to see where I was landing. But we'll put that on the next one. Anyway, so that's this thing. Go back to the Space Center real quickly. Also, I'll be right back. I just heard a really loud noise. I'm pretty sure it's nothing, but I want to make sure. Thank you for reminding me about that, Dusk. I forgot to unmute the mic. What's this thing? Oh, yeah. I have not seen that mod for Assetto Corsa, Mechanicat. What I was saying is, post that in the Discord, and then I was like, oh, yeah, by the way, I have one of those now. Let me link it. But anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to make some modifications to this probe. Because this probe works, but it's hard to land because it's hard to land on the dark side of the moon because you can't see what the hell you're doing. The way we're going to fix that is pretty straightforward. We are going to put some of these on here. The question, of course, is which ones? We have lights, but what lights do we want to put down? Oh, what was that just now? Thank you for the sub, Dusk. You really didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, a fresh corpse, blah. Yes, a fresh corpse is indeed ripe for necromancy. That is a very good point to put. That is a very good thing to remember. I don't like how that looks, but oh well. What does that do? Da, 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 da. That's not really useful for us. These might be as well. I really don't like how this looks because it's poking through the payload shroud, but that's an easy fix. That's actually, like, unironically a really easy thing to fix. All we do is this. And then we take this off, and now we reshape the payload shroud. It's actually not all that important, but I don't want it to be ugly. You understand? I don't want the rocket to be ugly. And when the rocket looks like that, it's ugly. So we want that. There we go. Now the payload shroud looks right. These need to be staged together for thrust reasons. And now we have Moonwalk 2 ready to go. And hopefully this one will be able to... What's the word I'm looking for here? This one will be able to land correctly. The lights will help us, more crucially, the lights will help us see the ground, which is probably going to be very important. I can kind of tell from here. So that's all good. That's all good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. This is an unmanned launch, so I don't have the advanced probe bodies yet. So it's gonna be a lot more manual piloting, but oh well, that's how it is. Let's go throw this thing at the moon. See how well that works. First things first. Also, damn, has it really been 6 months, Dusk? That feels weird. I mean, it's been more than that I've been streaming, but still, that feels really weird. Like, you trusted me enough to stick around for 6 months. I guess that means I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right, I guess. Let's get this thing... Okay, revert launch. I just realized I did something stupid there. I tried to execute a roll program when the rocket was just coming off the ground. That's not smart. Let's do that again. So let it get up off the ground and build up some speed first. Once it's done that, then we can execute the roll program. Hell, I was telling Flavorful about this a couple of weeks ago when he was trying to play KSP. I asked him, hey, do you want me to backseat you? Because I kind of know what I'm doing, and then here I go proving that I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. So now we can execute the roll program, and it should be okay. Yeah. Just cancel that out. Cancel our rotation out. Hit that. Okay, now we're going the right way. Do a very, very slight pitch down maneuver. And now, when our outer stage boosters get emptied, get depleted, they'll drop, and they won't be going in a weird direction that might have collision risks. I'm probably gonna adjust the position of that decoupler just to help with that, and maybe even see about putting some kind of separation boosters on there if that's a thing I can do. Because while it's not really a problem right now, it could become one for all I know. So, let's see, we're about 50% through on the outer stage boosters. Core stage is about 2/3 full still. Waiting on those to empty out. Then we're going to split those off, and that'll get this probe bot. That'll get us to, what's our apoapsis right now? Our apoapsis is 18 kilometers. We're going to be up at like 300 or 400 kilometers. I like to cut main engine once we're at around 350 to 400 kilometers, and then let it coast up and then fire again to kick as a kick burn. I found that generally allocates our delta V more efficiently. Also, what's our atmosphere looking like? We're still in Atmos, so don't pop the payload fairing yet. Why is that there? No, that needs to be there. Okay, now we're in good shape. Booster stage is about to separate. At one point, we're going to kick on the reaction control system so that we maintain roll authority. Outer boosters are split. RCS is on. Okay. That'll maintain our roll authority and let us get up without too much difficulty. Do a little bit of course alignment to get our trajectory looking better. Because we didn't exactly have a perfect ascent, mind you. You see, we're a little bit off of where we want to actually be. So we're going to make some adjustments for that. What's our current atmosphere situation? Okay, drop the fairing. There's the payload. As you can see, it is a modification of what I was saying earlier. We have a Science Junior covered in solar panels, 4 of these high-gain antennas, a bunch of RCS fuel, which is powering the entire reaction control system right now, a small landing engine and its associated fuel tank, and the lights. What the hell was that doing just now? Oh, that's what that does. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want those turning on. We don't want to use those right now. Our current situation looks fine, though, so we're going to let that just run. Stage empty. Now, okay, I staged it a little early, but that'll be fine. What's our apoapsis looking like? Okay, yeah, no, we're good. Cut throttle. We're going to push ourselves up to this point. Gonna do a bit of a maneuver to adjust ourselves. We actually didn't do any of that kick maneuver that I'm talking about. So basically what we're doing now is just circularizing. We're establishing the orbit and circularizing like so. Booster is, second stage booster is on. Upper stage is lit. Yeah, upper stage is lit. Now we're just waiting for this orbit to open up, and then from there we can do our trajectory calculations. Land this bitch over here. So we've got that all running. We've got this set up. That's coming in pretty decent, actually. We've got a cut throttle again. We're going to actually do a little bit of an adjustment here. We're going to actually do our burn after apoapsis. I found that's actually a pretty handy little trick to widen orbits rather than just push the apoapsis. Is if you start your burn slightly after apoapsis, it changes the way that the orbit works exactly. I don't have any of the qualifications to explain it correctly, but that's in a nutshell. You can see how it's widening the orbit without really massively increasing the altitude of the apoapsis. The apoapsis altitude's going to go up anyways, because it's always going to do that as we're increasing our velocity. But what's crucial is that, once again, like I said, it's going up slower than our periapsis altitude. You can't see our periapsis because it's still below ground. If we were able to orbit, it would be somewhere underground. If like we were to pass through the ground, that would be an orbit, but we can't. That'll just destroy the payload. Check your Discord DMs after stream, and give me your thoughts later. Okay, that might be okay. I'll definitely have to give that a look. Thanks for reaching out to me on that, though, Varag. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna get the PC version just so that it actually runs. But I'll have a look at whatever you send me. Not to mention that trying to play the PS3 version, like I said, it was kind of a partially a funny and partially me just not wanting to pay for the game before I knew whether or not I was going to like it. But that'll definitely be a thing for me to look at then. So we're gonna we're gonna bring that up like so. Good. What's our periapsis altitude? Too low. That would aero brake us so that we go back down and land. Okay, that'll work. Now our periapsis is about 150 kilometers. We're going to loop back around to just after apoapsis to repeat that maneuver, essentially. That way, again, we'll push the periapsis. We're going to come back, continue pushing the periapsis, because the closer you are to apoapsis when you do the burn, the less it affects the apoapsis, and the more it affects the periapsis. Vague circularization, like so. Good, that's ready to go. Not exactly circular, but it's close enough for my needs. So next thing we're going to do is set target mun. That'll let us check our inclination. About 2.3 degrees above. I mean, we could work with that, but I'd really rather just level the inclination. So we're going to lower that inclination at the ascending node to right around there. Good. Now, one of the things we're going to have to deal with, because I'm using the basic probe body, is I cannot tell the system continue flying in the direction of that maneuver. I have to hold this shit manually. This is going to suck. But it's not super difficult with this payload. It's going to be a bitch with later ones if we're trying to do heavier payloads, but by then we should have more advanced control setups or be using manned equipment for that, which can do those kind of maneuvers much more effectively. First things first, we set ourselves in the direction of the maneuver, like so. That way we're pointing in the right direction when the time comes. T-minus 57 minutes, 4-second burn at full throttle. Probably translate to a 20-second burn at the throttle setting we're going to use for this, because I generally don't do these short burns at full throttle. You just overshoot the mark way too easily if you do. 57, we're going to wait till T-minus 40, and that's where we're going to start throttling to see what kind of setup we can get with that. Check our alignment. Good. 2, 1. Start the burn. There we go. Okay, we are roughly aligned on time at a very low throttle setting, which is really handy for these gentle adjustments. 40 meters per second. Keep the burn going. By the time we'll start to see the maneuver target we'll probably start to see the maneuver target drift, and at that point we're going to need to make some adjustments to keep up with it. Otherwise we're gonna, yep, it's starting to drift. Starting to adjust, to compensate. Okay, that's acceptable. That's within margins. 0.2 meters a second. What does that do to our ascending node? 0.1 degrees, that's acceptable. Next step is use our apoapsis to, not use our apoapsis to actually get out there, but start the maneuver at our apoapsis, then we'll adjust the time from there. We are looking for moon capture. Still not far out enough. We're going to start making adjustments to our trajectory to accommodate. No, damn it. I fucked it up. Yeah, no. I didn't actually want to hit that one. So first things first, big prograde burn. This is going to be a big prograde burn. Like that much I know for sure. But then from there, we're going to have to adjust its timing. That when we make the burn, we're in position for moon capture. We're good on that now. Let's adjust the burn a little bit. Stop being twitchy, please, KSP. Can you do that for me? Can you stop being weird and twitchy? There we go. Good. Shift focus to moon. And set our capture burn. Think of it as basically, I'm trying to think, what's a good way to describe what I'm doing here? What's a good way to describe what I'm doing here? Imagine, what's the good way of describing what I'm doing here? Imagine, if you will, think of each of these like bodies, like the planets, the moon, etc., as like a giant magnet, Varag. Stop that. Thank you. I said stop. Why are you doing this, KSP? Why are you doing this? Why are you making this difficult? There we go. Stop making this difficult. There we go. Now we have our orbit set up. So think of it as you're basically trying... Think of basically, you know how gravity works, right? How whenever, like, gravity makes things fall, right? You're trying to get this thing to fall at a specific speed in a specific direction so that it constantly makes circles around things. And what you have is you have a big-ass rocket, and you can use that big-ass rocket to adjust the direction and speed of your fall. You're always falling. That's the big thing to remember, is you're always falling. But you can control the direction that you're falling and the speed that you're falling. And that's the entire that's like the entire thing here. That's what matters. Is how do you adjust the speed and direction of your fall? Yes, basically. Basically, Varag. Big can of burning stuff goes in space, and that's what this is. That's what this is. This is basically just a big can of stuff that burns and a thing that burns it. That's what this is. And depending on when you turn the thing that burns the stuff in the can on, you can control things with it. You can make this whole thing move. What's our burn time? 46 seconds? Okay, we can do this one at full throttle. It'll be fine. What's our T-minus? It's probably going to put us at about 1 minute, 1 minute 30. We'll see what that is. We've got ourselves oriented, though, and that's what really matters. Yep, 1 minute 20. We're going to start at T-minus 50 just for a slight buffer. Good. We're on the maneuver profile now. So what we're going to do is basically just going to hold it here for a bit, wait for that to hit T-minus 40, and then just go full throttle, because this is a long enough burn that doesn't really matter. 3, 2, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. Now we just turn the rocket on and wait for our velocity to change. Keep track of it here, make sure we don't overshoot the mark. Keep track of the maneuver marker so that in case it starts to drift, we can adjust. God, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Like I said, it's just, you got a can of stuff that burns, a smaller can of stuff that burns, a big thing that burns it, a little thing that burns it, and a bunch of crap that's all just here to make it all work. Okay, that's good. About 100 meters a second. 3. Throttle down, throttle down, throttle down. We are already starting to see a drift. We need to keep track of that. Probably within margins, but I'd like it to be closer, so we're going to do a lower throttle burn now for some final fine adjustment, just to be on the safe side. Bring you over like so, and that'll get us a decent amount of... That'll get us closer to our original planned course. Okay, good. Now we're definitely within margins. Check our next maneuver mark. We've got a 23-second burn at full throttle. We'll probably do that one at half throttle, which will be about 40-ish seconds. So, but 1/3 or half throttle, roughly speaking. It doesn't really matter the specifics, but this is going to get us into orbit. Once we're in orbit, we'll plan a landing point and go from there. What's our current trajectory looking like? That maneuver may no longer be viable, actually. I just realized that. This trajectory is not happy. I'll say that much for sure. Add maneuver. KSP, why are you doing this? Seriously, why? Stop it. God, acting so strange. I don't know what's causing this exactly, but this is the strange, like, this is a weird little behavior right now. Either way, let's get ourselves aligned, and we'll see what the maneuver starts to do once we actually make it. Hopefully, it'll put us in a moon orbit and not actually spaz out, because it seems to really not like itself right now. KSP really doesn't seem to know what the hell it's doing. KSP, you're drunk. Please stop. Okay, that's good. Wait for that. 5 to 31. About a 28-second burn at full throttle, like I said before. Wait for the time to pass, like so. It's going to take several days to actually get to our target point. That's kind of wild. Let's see what this burn actually does, shall we? Once we hit 1 minute, we'll actually start the burn. 2, 1, start the burn. There we go. Got our time scale lined up. Going to be about a 400 meter per second delta V correction, delta V adjustment here. We'll see what this does to our actual course then. Where are we at, actually? That's the real question. What's actually happening here with this burn? But I want to know, because it doesn't seem like... It seems like I've done something weird here. Is this going to actually work? If it does, it's going to be funny, that's for sure. Yeah, this is actually going to... Whoa! That actually worked. That actually worked. That's strange. We're going to cut the maneuver short, though. And instead, now that we're actually orbiting the moon... Where is the actual moon at? That's what I want to know. It's like... What's the actual position of the moon? Because KSP doesn't seem to agree on where the moon is. Where are we relative to the moon? There's the moon! Okay, well, we are orbiting the moon, apparently. And that's us. Yeah, no. Fleet camera, why are you not letting me focus on the moon? Why are you... We're orbiting the moon. Why aren't you letting me actually set our target or any of that? Add maneuver, fine. Maybe this will actually get it to focus the camera on the moon. Yep, okay, that's good to go. Now we just adjust our course. Oh, very real. You want to know how you know how we can tell? False, there is no moon. But no, do you want to know how we can actually tell that the moon landing was real? There is one very good argument that no moon landing denier has ever, pretty much no moon landing denier considers. And that is that in the 1960s, it was cheaper and easier to actually go to the moon than to fake going to the moon. That is the best argument for the moon landing actually happened. Time, good. Position ourselves like so. Wait for our course to correct. And that'll put us in a nice low moon orbit that we can use. Adjust our throttle. Okay, it's going to be about 3-second difference between node time and burn time, but that's fine. We can work with that. Keep our delta V adjustment going like so. And let's see how close we cut it here. Keep an eye on the maneuver marker in case it starts to drift. Let's also deploy our antennas so that we can talk to the relay sats. They're going to be important to make sure we don't lose control of the vehicle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Make an adjustment. Like so. Another adjustment like so. Good. And we are now in a pretty good moon orbit, actually. Who would have thought? Yes, focus view on the moon, damn it. Why weren't you doing that earlier, KSP? That's all I wanted you to do, is focus view on the moon. Why did you make this such a fight? Okay, now we have to pick a landing point. This one landed okay, but I think we're going to want to land here. We're going to want to land somewhere around here. So what we're going to do, add maneuver, and this will set our periapsis approximately at our landing point. Good. And then from there, once we get close to the landing point, we can make adjustments. Make the initial course alignment like so. Good, and this will let us just use the big booster as, you know, to do this initial course adjustment. Then from there, we'll switch over to the landing engines, and they will provide ground lighting to let us track the situation. Okay, good. Got our burn running now. That should get us approximately where we want to go, into that crater right there on that dark spot. It's probably a lunar sea, which will be pretty good for science. Pretty good for getting science out of that. Once that's done, we can dump this stage and use the smaller stage to perform our final descent burn. Keep track to make sure the maneuver marker doesn't drift on us too far. Good. 20 meters per second to go. Good. We're close enough. We're going to go prograde and drop this booster. Not even program, basically not retrograde. Okay. We are in a position to drop the booster. And now it's just a question of doing our final adjustments. Booster will crash down somewhere, I guess. And then we'll do our final adjustments. This is simple enough. It's basically just point the lander retrograde and fire the engine when we start getting too close to the ground. It's really not that complicated. There we go. Find retrograde. Point the lander retrograde. And like I said, just fire the booster. Once we're about maybe a kilometer up, we've got about 800 meters a second at delta V. We can work with. This should be fine. Warp here, and hopefully our velocity doesn't go crazy in the process. It is going crazy. Maybe shouldn't have done that. Whatever. We'll make it work. That's how it is. That's how it's gonna be. Warp here. What's our velocity looking like? About 400. Let's warp here and hope it doesn't get too crazy in the process. Okay, yeah, no, it's getting pretty high now. Let's point ourselves retrograde. Like I said. That's prograde. We want to go the other way. Like there. Yeah, that's where we want to be pointing. start killing our velocity a bit. Good. We've got a nice, steady descent burn going now. That'll keep us from dying, basically. As long as our delta V does not... As long as our descent velocity doesn't exceed our delta V, we should be okay. Get our descent velocity down below like 300 meters a second. I'll be more comfortable at that point. And then it's really just maintenance from there. Just like that. Perfect. We should have... Yeah, we've got more than enough delta V to actually get down there. Let's extend our landing gear. Turn on our lights. That way we can actually see what the hell we're doing. And put this thing down on the ground. Throttle up. Just manage that throttle. Ever so. Ooh, we went over. Wait for our velocity to level out. And then we're gonna have to manage it from here. This is where things get tricky. This is where things get really tricky because now we kind of fucked up our landing, but it's fine. We just have to make the adjustments to get it back on course. Okay. 20 meters a second. We have 78 meters a second of delta V to play with. 28. Keep our velocity under control. That's the big thing right now. We don't need to like come down at 0. We just need to come down softly so that we don't destroy the landing gear this time. Okay, we should be okay. We should be okay. Cut throttle, let it coast. And then let's see how far that gets us. And that's all our throttle. That's all our delta V. Was it enough? Was it enough? Was it enough? Was it enough? Come on! It's a rough landing, but it's a landing. Yep, okay, that'll work. Okay. We got the probe down. Not ideally, but we got it down. Conduct the materials study. And let's transmit. That gets us 49 science. That works. That works. Okay. Done. Back to the Space Center. Yeah, exactly, Varag. Good enough! The probe is online and transmitting. That's all we need it to do. We don't need it to be perfectly upright. It was able to transmit its findings, and that lets us get some things we need. Particularly, that's going to let me get advanced fuel systems or heavier rocketry. Either one of these would be really good, because that would get us... Actually, we probably are going to go with heavier rocketry, because that'll get us really good first stage engines. Alternatively, I could go for specialized control, or I don't have enough for unmanned. Precision engineering would get me some new... Ooh, that would get me some comms equipment. That would be really good. Ooh, this is hard, actually. This is actually really tricky. I think what we're gonna do... Precision engineering... Well, like I said, would get us some comms equipment and some good science stuff. Fully deployable antenna array. That's useful. We could use that as a data transmitter. 2G, 2.0 OG, 2.0 OG. Keep that number in mind, 2.0 OG. Let's go and see what our current antennas can do. I think it's lower, though. But communications, that's 500K, 500K, 5M. Yes, that is a massive improvement. That is an enormous improvement. Yeah, we're going to get precision engineering. That'll let us do better relay satellites and establish a more useful comms network. Not more useful. Let's establish a bigger comms network. So R&D, we're going to go precision engineering so we can get that and that. Research. Excellent. Miniaturization we can come back and get as well because it's got some maybe useful things, but oh well. And now we are going to upgrade one of our payload sections with these new antennas. So open Combas. This is the basic platform that I'm using for comms relays, right? So remove that, remove that. Each of those was 5M, if memory serves me right, and that was 8 of those. Yeah, 5M, that's 2G. That's a massive improvement. That is an absolutely enormous improvement. Actually, if we then also combine it, or alternatively, we can also use this one. And that probably go here. We were going to do that. That does mean we have less solar panels to work with, but for the comms improvements, that's fine. Let's see what this looks like deployed and extended. Yeah, no, that's definitely good. Okay. We're going to go with 2 of these. Actually. That's perfect. Okay. What do you do? Yeah, that's massive right there is what that is. That's absolutely massive in terms of comms improvements. Meantime, what we can then do, retract this antenna and refill the spaces that are not occupied with more solar panels. Okay, that's been set up. Let's go electrical, solar panels, like so. Yeah, that works perfectly. Okay. Perfect. And then one more there. That's our payload section done. Why is it doing that? Oh well, it's not important. Point is, now we have a much more powerful comm satellite to work with. Combas. What is our last Combas vehicle? I'm going to save that as the Combas payload section. Our last Combas launch was tracking station. That was Combas 6. Okay. So this will be 7 in the Combas series. This one's gonna go out to Minmus. We can basically use the launch stack we've been doing up until this point, and it should be okay. So upper stage will be well, first an adapter, an aerodynamic adapter, and then fuel tanks. We elected not to improve our launch vehicle, our boosters. So let's make this work. We're going to have to make it work. Okay. We chose to improve our comms rather than our boosters, but that's fine. I already have enough boosters to get to Minmus. Our upper stage is one of these. I like the single bell for this. I don't know if it actually matters or not, but I like the look of this better. So that's that set. We need decoupler to go there. We need one of the TD25s. That then gets... We then put... Forget, is it? Yeah, it's 3 of these. I remember now. It's 1, 2, 3. And this is our core stage engine, which is a... Where are you? Not you, not you, not you. Skipper. It's a skipper. Now, like I said, we're going to make some adjustments to our radial stages. We might not actually need the radial stages for this, but I like having them here for the hell of it, just to be for the margin they give me, especially since we're going out to Minmus. This is not enough Delta V to reach Minmus, actually. Not even close to enough Delta V to reach Minmus. The simplest thing would probably be to strap on some solid rocket boosters. But I like the additional control authority we get. Actually, no. First, we gotta put our RCS on. What am I even doing? We need to put the RCS on here first. So, command and control. We need these. Like so. Thank you, Mechanic Cat. Ooh, that is very well timed. I was getting shrimpy. That's good. That's actually much better. Or was I? Oh, yeah. So we've got that RCS set. Swap these to the orthogonal 5-horn. I like them better. I don't know if they actually make a difference, but I like them. So we're going to use those. These then go on here. And one here as well, just for the extra control authority. Also, we're going to put this one further down. That way it can also work with these. Perfect. So that's our reaction control thruster set up. We're going to now attach our radial stage. Like I said before. I think I'm going to actually change how I've been doing that before. First, let's see what solid rocket boosters get us. So we could put kickbacks on. And see what that does for us. That gets us about... How much Delta V does that get us? 4179. What's our thrust to weight ratio? It's not enough. These would have to burn together. Yeah, no. This would be good if we were putting something, say, between Kerbin and Minmus, but that's not enough for an actual Minmus orbit vehicle. So we are going to need liquid radial stages. Okay. So first things first, once again, go grab the radial decouplers. Put them up here, actually. Fuel tanks, we're going to want these again. That's correct. And put another one below that. Not that one, this one. And then 2 more skippers. 1 on each of these outer tanks, outer sections. Good. Put nose cones for the extra aerodynamics. Where is this damn thing at? Aerodynamics, that's what I need. Okay. That's the big one. We want the advanced. No. That one. No? Which one is the one we're looking for then? Is it that? It is that one! Wow! It's just bigger than I thought it was. Okay. The variants of this? Yes, there are. Ooh, we can make it orange. I like that orange. It makes it look like a Delta 4 Heavy. Yeah, I'm going to make these orange because it makes it look like the Delta 4. I kind of like the way the Delta 4 looks. Orange, orange, orange. Maybe make this one different? No. No, no. I like that single bell design. What we might actually do is change the color of these back to black and white. Yeah, that looks good. And then this could be... Do we want gold? That's the question, really. Actually, yeah, I like that. Okay. And then this. Gray and orange. Yes. Okay, that looks good, actually, yeah. And this, that's a single bell. That's not actually what I'm looking for. I want that. That doesn't do anything, really. Okay. So we're good on that. Now we just need to adjust the height on these to match the core stage. I don't really need to, but it looks better if we do. Good. There we go. Now this is Combat 7, if memory serves me right. Oh, hey! Monster! I forgot Monster was on this album. Is it off center? Doesn't really matter, but it's gonna bother me if it is. There we go. I mean, that'll work, I guess. No. I want these to be level with each other. Month and night veins, you're the war that I wage. Can you change me? Can you change me? You're the love, hate. You're the one that I. Can you? Okay, and one last thing to do now. We need to go structural and just stick some struts to connect these outer stages to the core stage. It's not super important, but it keeps it from wobbling around everywhere, which is handy. Good. That's good to go now. Not perfectly level, but it's close enough. That's good. And Combat 7 is ready for launch. It's our Delta V budget right now. At surface, we're going to have about... Let's just do that. Make sure our thrust to weight ratio is good. Perfect. Okay. And launch. I've not actually really used either of the alternate launch sites. So there's actually 3 launch sites you can use in KSP that work out. There's this one, which is like the default launch pad. There's the one down, I think it's down south, that's supposed to be like Woomera in Australia. And then there's a desert one that I'm guessing is Baikonur. I think I've used that one once or twice to do probably one of, I think I used that to launch one of these satellites actually up here. Yeah, Combas 1 I think got launched from desert. Yeah, Combas 1 got launched from there so I could throw it, and I threw it into like a Molnia orbit. Basically a Molnia orbit. Might not exactly be a Molnia orbit, but it's a Molnia-esque orbit. Let's go with that. Okay, that's all good. Turn on the stability control, throttle to max, and up it goes. Combat 7 is airborne, is now airborne. Wait for our velocity to reach about 15 meters a second, then we'll do our tip over. Perfect, just like that. That's what we're after. That'll get us onto a decent starting trajectory. We can then make adjustments from there. Keep track of our outer stages so that we know to drop them when the time comes. Also, can we do... Okay, we should be steady enough to do our roll program as well. To do our roll maneuver as well. I say roll program, but it's not really programmed in. I'm doing this shit manually. But yeah, the roll maneuver is pretty straightforward. Okay, we're on a good course now, on a decent trajectory. This shouldn't have any trouble getting out towards Menmus. If it does, well, oh shit. Yeah, no, we're fine now. We should be fine. Yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. Keep track of those outer stages so we can drop them once they're emptied. And let's see. Anything else I need to check on there? No, that should be good then. Yep. Yep, we're good. Just waiting on this to go. I don't know how many of y'all saw. I know if Kogasa's here, I know he posted it. But if any of y'all are here, any of y'all are really interested, I'm going to be helping Kogasa try to stop hating the sound of their own voice. Because I noticed they were talking on Twitter about how they want to cover songs, but every time they try and cover one, they hear how they sound and they immediately give up. I remember when I had that problem really bad. Like, I despised the sound of my own voice. And frankly, I think a lot of people do, especially if you're in some of the higher registers, like say you're a tenor. You're probably going to hate the sound of your voice at first, which is a shame because, God, tenors sound good. Tenor voices, a good tenor voice is like, it's so clean. It rings. I don't know how many of y'all have ever listened to, say, like Luciano Pavarotti or any of those famous opera voices. Those are tenors. Those guys are tenors, you know. Pagliaccia sul tuo amor infranto. That's a tenor voice. And frankly, if you like not just opera, but pop music as well. Bruno Mars, Adam Levine, pretty much every male pop singer. That's a tenor voice. Whether it's like I said, Bruno Mars, Adam Levine, going all the way back to like the 60s even going back all the way to like the early to mid 60s, pretty much every major pop artist, male pop singer, has been a tenor. I don't know exactly why the shift happened. But I know that shift happened right around then. Because before that, it was pretty much an area dominated by baritones. Listen to Elvis Presley, for example. Elvis Presley is a baritone. So is Frank Sinatra, so is Johnny Cash. They're all baritones. And funny enough, it's interesting to hear how much trouble baritones now have with trying to do covers of music for that exact reason. Like, I remember when Woozle joined Bloom, was doing the cover of Backstreet's Back with Arthur Leonidas and Bloom. Let me play that for you, actually. Let me play that for you, because that is a thing. That is a thing that is amazing. Let me play this for you, because this is a thing. So that's Leonidas. That's... The person who really stole the show here, though, was Arthur. But like I said, like, baritones struggle, and you can really hear that if you listen to Woozle's parts, because Woozle is a baritone, and he is not comfortable. It's not the lyrics or anything here. It's specifically, there's Bloom. Yeah, that's Bloom. But what I was saying is, pay attention when Woozle comes on. You can tell this is outside his vocal range. You can really tell this is outside his vocal range. Here's Arthur. Original, yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. So now that we've got ourselves up to a decent apoapsis altitude, higher than I originally wanted. Yes, it is, Mechanicat. It is absolutely hilarious. It is a fantastic... Who drew that? Who drew this? It should be Pinkman. Okay, Pinkman, why did you give Woozle such a gigantic bulge? And only Woozle. Not just they gave Woozle a giant bulge. They only gave Woozle a gigantic bulge. There's Woozle. You can see how he's not comfortable. You can see how he's not comfortable. Vocally, he's not really comfortable. This is outside his range, and it shows. Here comes Arthur again, who is one of the cleanest sounding tenors. We don't have that here, Mechanica. We basically don't have any commands here. Woo, we really don't. I basically have, like, no commands. I have the Twitter command, the Discord command, which I stole from Pecan, and I think that's really it. Like, those are the only two commands I know that I have. I might have others beyond that. Okay, when I'm on a collab, I have a collab command, but that's it, really. That's all I have for commands. I don't have a come command. And then I have some timers that you'll see occasionally come up. Like the one about the VOD channel, the one about the, what's it called? Okay, what's our periapsis altitude looking like? It's coming up off the ground, which is what's important. Periapsis is going to hit 200. Let's cut. Coast a bit closer to apoapsis. That way, like I said, we want to push. Oh, and thank you for that, Dusk. Thank you a lot for that. Oh. We can push our periapsis. The closer we're to apoapsis when I make our burns, the more we can push periapsis without affecting apoapsis. There's some little tricks I like to use here, like starting the burn after apoapsis. That also really helps. But it's just a bunch of little tricks like that. There we go. And this will push the periapsis out without really affecting apoapsis. Basically perfect like that. Because apoapsis altitude is going to rise in this situation, but notice how much slower it's rising than periapsis altitude. 731, 762. Basically got this almost perfectly circular. It's close enough. It's like a 30-kilometer difference. It's not enough to matter. So next step is to set Minmus as our target. Actually, no. Our next step is to deploy these two antennas so that whatever else happens, we have a continuous connection to control. You know, that doesn't work. Okay. So extend these two antennas. This one's already online, so it's not really that important. And now we're going to start our maneuvers to get out to Minmus. First thing is find Minmus. Set it as our target. That'll let us check our orbital inclination. It's about 6 degrees. Okay. So we're going to add a maneuver here to lower that inclination as close to 0 as we can get it. A little too much. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. That takes care of our orbital inclination. Now we can make the adjustments so that we're pointing the right direction when we get to the maneuver node. We're going to do that at about half throttle. So it's going to take about 30 to 40 seconds. Maybe not half throttle, but you know, lower than maximum throttle. Because maximum throttle would take 12 seconds, but then we'd have to chase the maneuver target pretty much constantly, and that would just get annoying. So time warp ahead to there, about a minute out. Going to put Horizons, the other Starset album I fucking love, on to play. We're going to start with Otherworldly, because I love Otherworldly. It's such a good track. That gives us a really, really good comm signal strength. That's good. Now we're just waiting. There we go. Now we are time aligned, waiting for that burn to complete, at which point we're going to adjust the... What's the word I'm looking for here? Oh yeah, then we're going to need to plan, not adjust, we're going to plan our maneuver to actually get out to Minmus. Okay. That's close enough. 0.2 meters second deviation is fine. Next step is, like I said, Minmus rendezvous. Start the maneuver here and then get it out towards Minmus. Like so. We're aiming for the yellow ring. Keep that in mind. Oh, wow. We're already really close to capture. Can we adjust? There we go. Okay. We have capture now. Focus view. Set our... Ooh, that's really far out, actually. So let's go back to our upcoming maneuver. Real quickly, and we're going to adjust that maneuver a bit. Just to get it closer to Minmus. That's better. 500 kilometers is much more workable. Add maneuver here. See if there's no jitter. Good. No jitter, which means... There we go. Okay, we have our maneuver programs, our maneuver plan set out. Yeah, I can see why, Mechanicat. It's a game that really does require a certain, let's just say, it's a game that rewards a certain neurological condition. Which is probably why I like it so much. Let's be real here. That's probably why I enjoy this game as much as I do. It's not just this game. It's KSP, it's Factorio, Children of a Dead Earth. What else? KSP, Factorio, Children of a Dead Earth, Minecraft. I mean, let's just be real. Half the reason I enjoy these games is because I am super fucking autistic. Not joking. Dead serious. I am quite autistic, and that helps a lot. Let's do this then. We're going to wait until we get to... We're actually going to do this one probably at full throttle. It means we're going to have to do a bit of chasing at the end, but that's fine. That's probably why I'm a VTuber as well. Well, I say that, but I mean, not all VTubers are autistic. But a lot of them are. A lot of us are. I know I sure as hell am. Damn. So, we're going to... 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go. Yep, gonna let that burn run, and that'll get us to our encounter point. Oh god, don't even start me on that, Dusk. Like I said, consider how I almost missed the start of my stream because of this. Also, I didn't test Dark Souls 2 because I didn't think about it at the time. I was like, it'll work. I was say Dark Souls 2. I was playing Dark Souls 1. I didn't test Dark Souls. I didn't plan anything out. Hell, I made the thumbnail today. The Twitter thumbnail. That's all kind of connected to that. Because I remember. 3, 2. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, plans? What are those? Oh, I know that feeling I know that feeling very well. It's like, plans? What are those? Not something I'm doing, that's for sure. Ooh, it's fine. Okay. Let's go see if that maneuver's still going to work or not. Looks like it should, but let's get ourselves aligned first, and then we'll see what happens after that. Oh yeah, I love this song. Fell out of the air and you broke your wings like you're doing every other time. Made a new pair out of broken things to give it all another try. And you climb right up to the highest peaks, the edge of the world you seek. Sky, don't believe you can ever be good enough. Go on then, Icarus, take your turn. You always fly right up until it burns. Your wings you never could change, always the victim into the flames again. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to work. What's our current position? That's what I need to figure out. Relative to Minmus, what's our current position? We are currently... That's not us. Where is Comba 7 at? in the clouds. Oh yeah, we're fine. Okay. Think yourself, it's the world that holds you down. There we go. Yep, that'll work. Okay. The replica of a runner-up. You were made for skies, but you called your bluff. Now you'll never be good enough. One man and chorus, take your turn. You always fly right up until it burns. You never could change. Always the victim into the flames again. Okay, that's fine. That's actually a decent orbit. Let's warp to here. Actually, not quite there. There. Warp to there. Oh my god, I forgot about the fact that this is the music. What? I was like, what the hell is that? That's in the music video for Icarus. What the hell? I forgot. I was listening to the video version and not just the song itself. So we're gonna skip past it because I don't know what the hell any of that is, and I don't want to get in trouble for it. It's not even gonna be in the VOD, so it doesn't really matter. I push my being to the edge. I look and I wave my world. See, it's hard to know where all of this begins and I end. So now we have a Minmus satellite. We might actually be able to get some science off of this. Who knows? Easy enough to test. Hey, then I saw you from a distance. You were worlds away. Led me from the vision. Never look away. I'll still fall for you like suns do for skies. Cerulean pouring in from your eyes. Just a hollow moon that you color. Oh wow, that's convenient. Oh, powerful, I feel so small but so alive. Who would have thought that by holding my previous direction, I would have immediately just gone from prograde to retrograde? Other way around, retrograde to prograde. Who would have thought? That means we can circularize this orbit, which is 174,386. It's been this. Do a little slight time warp to get closer to the apoapsis. Like I said, we want to do this burn as close to the apoapsis as possible. All right, yeah, no. Nice having you around, Dusk. Nice to have you around. Basically perfect. Yeah, no. I still wish. So now we have Combos 7 in orbit over Minmus. Combos 7 will basically extends our relay network out further and has the ability to talk with Combos 5, Combos 2, and Combos 1. Additionally, there's a connection relay with Combos 6. And next step is going to be probably to put another lander on either unmanned lander on either Minmus or the Mun, just to get more science so that we can start getting booster upgrades. That no longer needs its booster, so we'll drop that and then align this. Actually, no, we can't make it hold any alignments because it's using a fairly basic probe body. I'm gonna align this pointing towards Minmus, though. It won't stay that way, but I like the look of that better. And okay, that's that setup. Go back to the Space Center and see what we can work with here. I've actually got a decent little setup with that. But that's Combos 7 up. Let's check our track. Let's check the tracking station. See what the Comboss network looks like. That's Comboss 1. That's Comboss 2. Comboss 3. Where's 4 at? That's 3. Where's 4? Oh, there's 4. Okay. That's Comboss 4. Comboss 5. We might want to actually start looking into what it would take to launch multiple satellites per launch. To throw up multiple satellites per launch. That could be something worth looking at, worth trying. So we go leave. We're going to go vehicle assembly building. And we're going to build something a bit smaller now. Something that's going to be basically a revised Comboss using the using this antenna. Actually, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to make it using just that antenna. So this needs to go back on there, actually. That goes like that. That goes like that. I'd probably take off the Science Junior, actually. Take that off. Go comms like that. Gonna put a structural fuselage like, not that one. Let's do that one. Yeah, that works. Structural tube. Urban Transportation Department, whatever. What about you? Can I make you smaller? No, I can't. Okay. I may actually just use a service bay like I was originally planning then. So let's go payload, service bay. Yeah, that works. Okay. Open. These are not going to be used for science, so whatever goes, all that goes in here is our reaction control propellant, which then gets rotated so it's not protruding. This might actually... What I might do for these as well, just to make this work better. Okay, we've got that set up. Close that door. And then, once again, we cover it with solar panels. Use the hexagonal layout for simplicity's sake. Didn't want to do that. Lock that so that I don't accidentally hit the Windows key again. And place. Okay. Is this gonna have enough power? This... Well, it will once I put the battery system on place. Once I put the battery system on, that's for sure. So we're gonna put 1, 2, U. Actually, we may actually just clone this, even though it doesn't really need it, just for RCS authority. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna clone these, put these like that, so that we have some more RCS authority once this does get up into orbit. Does also mean we don't have to worry about power, which is a little fringe benefit of that. And then these are gonna go on like this. Like that. Good. And then these go like that. Perfect. We now have reaction control implemented. Next step. Okay, that's all set to go. This is NA. This is just an NA. It's a simple NA booster. 1. Good. Then we just plonk all this back on here. Take that off as it's no longer doing anything. Because we need to, not longer, we need to adjust the payload now that it's smaller. So payload fairing, using this one again, using this one still. Oh yeah, no, that'll just work perfectly. Okay. Like so. And then that goes like that. Perfect. That's our NA booster setup. This is much lighter than a comb boss. Much simpler satellite as well, too, so not entirely surprising. I'm kind of wondering what those look like. Okay, I'm not using that, so it doesn't matter. Oh, shit! Coat! Thanks for the raid! What were you up to? So, hello there. By the way, I know I said I was playing Dark Souls today. Dark Souls broke. Oh, shit! That's right, you were playing Deep Rock! That's right, you were playing Deep Rock. Who were you playing with? Somebody? Were you playing with anyone? But yeah, no. For those of you for anyone who joined Coat, you can call me Furo. I was originally going to be playing Dark Souls today, but Dark Souls broke, so I've decided we're just gonna. Since I've been spending so much time in KSP, I might as well show y'all what I've been working on. Ooh, nice! Gindre, Ironclad, and Corvoda. Ooh, okay. What are we looking at here? So yeah, this right here is this is a communications satellite that I just threw together before you raided in. And now we're gonna stack it. So we'll save this payload section. Let me show you the bigger, more powerful counterpart to this, actually, because this is one of two payload sections I've done in this sort of design scheme. This is the comb boss. This is the big one. You can just see how much larger it is, how much heavier it is as well. 14,000 kilos, as opposed to the NA booster, which I think is like, yeah, 8,400. This is a much lighter, much simpler satellite that I threw together because that way I can use smaller boosters. Smaller launch vehicles. For example, I can do, where are you? I can do this. Put that on, engines. I can put on a Bobcat. And tank butt or truss mount. I can do either one, really. And tank butt looks better. And then we put a decoupler on that to... No, it's the 18. Okay. So what all did y'all do? Because I remember I played Deep Rock with Kogasa, Hazmat, and Sleipnir for the first time a couple of weeks ago. And oh my god, it was like at the end of that I was like, why have I not been playing this? This is really good fun. It's really good fun. This is what I've been missing out on, damn. Okay, so that is our upper stage set to go. We can then, actually, no, we're not going to do this. Actually, yeah, we are going to do this because the alternative was the other setup I've been using. Ooh, let me adjust that then. Thanks for letting me know, Coat. How's that for you then? Is that better? Anyways, what I was asking is, like, what kind of shit? Basically, what I was asking is, how did the dwarf times go for you, and how did the dwarf times go for y'all? Because, like I said, I played Deep Rock for the first time a week or two ago with Hazmat, Kogasa, and Sleipnir, and I was like, have I just been missing out on this whole time? Because it was fun as hell. Now we need to do our first stage, which is going to be much simpler now. And that we're just going to do a... What am I looking for? Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Fuel tanks. I want one of these, but not that one. I want this one. What the hell is this? Okay, I'm kind of curious what that's actually for. Whatever, we don't need it though. We need this one. And then we're going to do... 2 Rockamaxes on top, underneath that. that is, this is just a test launch for this vehicle. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That's like 5,300 meters a second at Delta V. This could get to the moon. Dorf went fine. Only played it on Hazard 3 and introduced it. I don't think we went above Hazard 2 when I was playing with Hazmat, Kogasa, and Sleb. So y'all went further than I did. So hey, that's something. That's something. That's something. What was I doing though? Okay, so we've got all this set up now, right? We've got a launch vehicle set up. That's our first stage. Then we've got this as our upper, and then this is the payload section. And this is basically just a test launch to see how well this works. Launch and wait for this to load because KSP likes to act up sometimes. I don't know why, it just does. It's fine. I mean, it's overall fine, but it acts weird occasionally. That's good to go. Load, set the stabilizer on, and launch. Wow. Okay, I should have probably checked our thrust to weight ratio before we actually sent this up. Good, lucky me that it's actually high enough. Once this test launch is done, that's probably going to be it though, just because I have been throwing all kinds of shit out. Like once this is up, I'll show you. Oh god, I forgot to put RCS on this, so roll control is going to be non-existent. Let's go and correct that, actually. I just realized that it's not a super important thing, but having some roll control is nice, and I've gotten used to it. And this has monoprop in there, so that goes like that. That goes there. Orthogonal 5-horn, because I like that one. And one here. And another one goes here. Actually, yeah, no, this one goes down here, actually. And that gives us pretty decent RCS control. Okay. Now let's launch that again. This is just a test launch for this new vehicle. And then once that's done, we'll probably call it there. Because like I said, this was not the original plan. Set the stabilizer on, set the throttle to max. And once again, we are up and away. Wait for our velocity to increase. And then we'll do our... we'll do our tip over maneuver. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Slight tip over, like I said before. Perfect. What's our... This is, like I said, this is everything we've launched. So just for reference, the only natural objects here are Kerbin, the moon, and Minmus. Everything else is artificial. What the hell happened to Cone Boss 7? I know I launched Cone Boss 7. Where is it? Did I accidentally delete Cone Boss 7? If I accidentally deleted Cone Boss 7, well, shit. We'll relaunch it another time, then. No, it's right there. Never mind. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. I just didn't see it there. Okay, focus is back on Kerbin. Good. We can't find Cone Boss. What's its name? Whatever, it's fine. Make that work now. And then, yep, we're just gonna send this up and see what kind of trajectory we get out of it. We're not yet out of the atmosphere, so we can't pop the fairing yet. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's less mass once we do, which is handy. And, okay, wow, yeah, our Delta V is kind of alternating between going up and down. I noticed that. really does. I guess it really does just make a difference how high up you are. Okay. What is our current Apoapsis altitude? 9,500 kilometers. Okay. See how high up that gets on this first stage. Then we'll make the orbital adjustments with the second. Oh, 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 oh. I waited till the moon had risen high, escaped your tide, and pull on me. I piloted the labyrinth of lies, haunted by the kinks in me. And now I'm falling right back into the trap that you set for me. Back inside your spell, I'm back in your sorcery. Alchemy, alchemy, tell me what you've done to me. Synthesize and transform, pathetic life form. Alchemy, alchemy, I don't want your drug in me. You get me high till I want more, but you hit like chloroform. You hit like chloroform. Oh, 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 oh. The fantasy dented by the chemistry. And the more I see, down to tide of conjuring. I'm just a mannequin stuck in your plans again, struck by the curse you put me in. Put your curse under my skin. It's alchemy, alchemy, tell me what you've done to me. Synthesize and transform, pathetic life form. Alchemy, alchemy, I don't want your drug in me. You get me high till I want more, but you hit like chloroform. You hit like da da da. We're not even gonna really do any sort of like sophisticated launch profile with this. I just want to see how high up this thing can get before it runs out of Delta V. This is not even a particularly ambitious or aggressive launch profile. This is just how high can this thing go? And now we have an answer to that question. It's a pretty decent Kerbin orbit, I guess. I wish, yeah, the eccentricity is fine. We'll throw another one out that's going the other way. But, yep, there we go. NA Booster 1 is in orbit now. Underneath. And now I'm falling right back into the trap that you set for me. Back in. And alignment is complete. And with that, let's go see who we can say hi to. Who have I not raided into in a while? That's the real question. Ooh, Hal's on. Hazmat. Okay. Maybe Hazmat. Or Kaji. Or Paladin. Ooh, that's a good question, actually. Could raid into... Actually, you know what? Because she's in space, and we're launching shit up there, let's go raid Heavens to Betsy. Let's go raid Betsy. So, like I said before, apologies for... I'm sorry about Dark Souls breaking, but I'll figure it out eventually. I'll probably just get it on PC, I guess, since that one will work. But in the meantime, yeah. That's Betsy. And for the raid message. Ooh, what is... Actually, I do know the raid message. I do know the exact raid message. I know the exact raid message. Soul's machine broke. There's the raid message. Also, here's, Twitter, if you want to follow me there. And once again, the Discord, because I have one of those now. We do stuff there. Sometimes I show movies. If you just want to, throw things at me and call me an idiot, whatever. There you go. But with that, I say to everyone here, thank you for coming, and good night.